Welcome to Configuring Script Tools. In this video, I just want to point out a couple of things about these script tools and how you have to configure them for them to work the way you're expecting them to. And notice I'm just going to drag a new one onto the work surface here to show you this. If I right click and go to edit, you will notice that I have some basic things I can set here. Number one, I can choose which language I want to code in. You can do Visual Basic, C#. I'll stay out of that fight. Do whichever one you like. The entry point, if you remember, this corresponds to the subroutine where your code's going to be or where you want this to start. So you can write stuff in main and then call another sub where your particular code is. However you want to do it. Again, you can do everything that you can do in C#. Almost, but pretty much anything about the libraries, classes, you can do them. Now the read-only variables, if I'm going to use read-only variables in my script, I do have to connect them right here. And you'll notice this sees parameters, it sees, and these system are the parameters. It also sees user variables, and that's how that we communicate that. If I'm also going to write to that variable and pass it back and work with it, I can use it here. Okay, so all that needs to happen right there. Just make sure this is the one that usually trips up most people. If you don't set this, it'll throw an error message and you don't know what it is. And I demoed that back on that conditional split tool, whatever video that was in. Then on general, this is where I can set the name of my script task, and then I can also type a description of it if I would like. And then this is kind of neat. If I want to use expressions in this script task, notice I can click the little ellipsis box here and open it up. And then I can go in even to my properties here, and if you notice, I can see those. But then notice I can go into my read-only variables and start to work with expressions here, and I can go into my variables, grab my user MTL rows, and make it part of an expression here. And of course have all kinds of pre-built things to help me here. Notice date add, date diff, and I can drag this stuff down and put an equal sign here and so forth. All right, so lots of things can happen here. I just wanted you to see this. I'll delete this one. And I want to just show you on the data flow side, it gets a little more involved, but you can kind of work through this yourself and play with it. Notice the script component. When I drag it on, the first thing it says is, hey, wait a minute, dude, how are you going to use this? Do you want the script as a source that's pulling data that you're going to use? How cool is that? The script, is it a destination that you want data to flow into and it consumes data from input columns? Or is this a transformation? We're going to take data in and then provide some sort of transformed data out. And once I choose that, like that transformation type, notice it says you don't have anything coming in. Okay. Notice I can choose my input columns. I can choose my inputs and my outputs, what they're going to be. Then I can work with my connection managers in there as well. So there's a lot of power here. Just wanted you to see those. Oh, and I also wanted to show you one more thing here on this one. Out on this general tab, on the script tab, you set a lot of the same things just in different places. Notice right here you choose your language, right? And you can also set the read-only or the read-write variables that you're passing in, just like on the script task out on the control flow. Okay, so make sure you pay close attention to those, and you should have a lot of good experiences using scripts. And again, I know I've said it a bunch of times before, there is a ton of power here in manipulating your data, controlling the flow of your packages and your data flows and your control flows. So anyway, dive into this. You'll see things like this on the exam, and you'll especially see them, and you'll be a hero in real life using these things.